and let us all do we can to build a better future. The Daily Beast. Dr. Cornel West owes more than $500,000 in unpaid taxes. Okay. What I want to say is, way to go, Daily Beast. What a fantastic job. You did some die-hard journalism. Now, are you going to bring the fire to all those other Democratic and Republican politicians who don't pay their taxes and doing insider trading? Are you going to go after people like Bloomberg and Jeff Bezos or the Zuckerberg? You know, are you going to go after those people? You know, because again, look, no one is perfect. I'm not expecting people to be perfect. No, I'm not perfect. I'll never say that. But apparently, Dr. Cornel West owes more than $500,000 unpaid taxes. Dr. West, up those numbers, man. You're in America. According to Trump, after all, in his debate with Hillary Clinton, when Hillary said to him, "You're not paying your taxes," and Trump said, "That means I'm smart." Okay, because look where our tax dollars go. To war and bailing out the corporations and all that other stuff. So veteran Ivy League professor and best-selling author Dr. Cornel West has long advocated for taxing the rich. Oh, my God, to provide more services to the American lower classes. But the academic turned Green Party presidential candidate isn't living up to those standards in his own life. As public records from New Jersey and California show, West owes the IRS hundreds of thousands of dollars in back taxes. So, again, what about the other people? The other people out there, you know, the heavyweights who don't pay jack. You know, Amazon pays zero in taxes. No, probably not. But go after Dr. Cornel West. Why? Because he's upsetting the two-party system. I want to pull up this video here and shout out to Larry Sharpe. He's a libertarian. I've been on his show. He's been on our show a few times. And he says, yes, I don't care about Cornel West tax issues. The establishment has been trashing our nation for decades and will always try to delegitimize any competition. I support any and all third-party attempts. No one's more corrupt than the current batch. Watch me explain on NewsNation. And on NewsNation, this scummy individual who makes my skin crawl, and again, he's get this, folks. I hope you're sitting down. A journalist. And he's going to talk about shockingly how, like, oh my goodness, Dr. Cornel West is not paying his taxes. Okay, there's other people out there who owe more than just 500,000. I mean, they owe it. You know, this might come a shock in the hundreds of millions, if not billions.
About Hunter Biden and his taxes, many don't even know that there is an actual presidential candidate who has not paid years of back taxes.
Again, just look at this dude. Just scummy. He's a scumbag. I don't like him. I don't like him at all.
Ivy League professor and 2024 presidential candidate Cornel West, a guy who spent a lot of time advocating for raising taxes on the wealthiest Americans, apparently owes the IRS more than $500,000, according to a new investigation.
Up those numbers. Come on, $500,000. Oh my God. Oh my God, what about Jeff Bezos?
The Daily Beast analyzed county clerk records in Jersey, California, found that West, a Green Party presidential candidate who's been getting a lot of media attention with regular appearances on cable news, owes more than $500.
Yeah, and by the way, again, that's on the IRS, the IRS doesn't do it. Here's the thing. All these government agencies, they don't do their job, okay? Like, seriously, if they're not going to go after Jeff Bezos, they're not going to go after Cornel West. And you know what the Daily Beast article is? It is a hit piece on a third-party candidate that's showing the hypocrisy of the Biden-Harris administration. And again, the Green Party for this election cycle is proving itself to be a considerable threat to the establishment and the Democrats, as again, leftists want to support somebody that they like. And by the way, vote blue no matter who. The Green Party isn't stealing my vote away from you. They have earned it. How can they steal something that the Democrats haven't earned? How can they spoil something that's already been spoiled to the core? Vote blue no matter who. You think that's going to change my mind? And let's say, oh, hey, by the way, vote blue no matter who. You might say, well, what if the Greens aren't on the ballot? Well, then I'll vote Libertarian. And if the Libertarians aren't on the ballot, I'll vote independent. And if the independents aren't on there, I'll write in somebody's name. And if I can't write in somebody's name, well, then I'm not voting for Democrat or Republican. No matter what happens, vote blue no matter who. You will not win. Corporate media, keep on going with your hit pieces. Keep on doing stuff like this. Articles like this, you know what that is? It's the rent was due. That's all.
100,000 in outstanding federal tax liens. West says the story is all a distraction.
It is.
Anytime you shine a flashlight under somebody's clothes, you're gonna find all kind of mess, because that's what it is to be human. What's interesting is you want to use it as a distraction. Why don't you keep the focus on the suffering that I'm highlighting?
That's right. That's right.
Yep, that's right.
Go to Harlem, go to Brooklyn, go to South Central LA, go to Southside Chicago. That's what I'm
Southside Chicago. There you go.
talking about.
Yeah, let's just not talk about it.
Ugh, God, did you hear the way he said it? Yeah, let's not talk about it. Ugh. Here, I'm going to rewind it again.
And about.
Yeah, let's just not talk about it.
He's not human. There's something, again, I have to wonder if the world of they live is actually a real thing.
And to those who say, well, he's not a serious candidate, that's why no one cares. A recent Emerson College polling survey of Michigan voters, critical state, found he could make all the difference in the election. Their poll of a hypothetical 2024 presidential matchup shows President Biden, former President Trump, statistically tied. But when Cornel West was added to the mix, Trump moved to 43, Biden went to 41. And what makes this whole thing...
Okay. All right. Hey, buddy, before you start vilifying West, don't forget there's 7% undecided, 4% for another person. Why aren't you adding in this? Again, corporate media showing its bias.
so hypocritical is that West called Hunter Biden's now lapsed plea agreement to federal tax charges a little tap on the wrist. So whatever you think of the Hunter deal, at least he paid his taxes and the fines. Does not seem to be the case for Cornel West.
Oh, and again, deflecting for Hunter Biden. Deflecting for Hunter Biden. Even though all corporate media said that laptop wasn't real. And that all these scandals surrounding Hunter is just classic Russian propaganda. Oh, wait, it's real.
Presidential candidate who's called for higher taxes. Is his IRS debt going largely unnoticed because the right-leaning media wants him to cause problems for Biden? The left-leaning media is too afraid to take him on based on his support for causes they love, or even, as some have suggested, his race. Back with us is Noel Nickpour, Republican strategist and fundraiser, Max Rose, former Democratic congressman from New York, and Larry Sharpe, host of the Sharpe Way Show and a libertarian. Larry, what do you think?
I think you're right. Nobody cares. And they shouldn't. So what? He owes tax money. So what? Who cares? Don't care. He is a third-party candidate.
But you don't care about taxes anyway, right? You'd think
also true,
right,
but that's besides the point. Yes. And on top of that, I would say what's going to save this country is a third party in some way, shape, or form. If he's the guy who can push forward.
By the way, look at the dude in the middle making that goofy face. Like, what? Dude, it almost looks like he crapped his pants as soon as Larry Sharpe said, we need a third party choice. Here, again, pay close attention.
Is a third party in some way, shape, or form. If he's the guy.
See, that's the face of, I just crapped myself right here. The bald white guy in the middle. He's like, I don't know. I'm crapping myself.
Guy who can push forward, I'll take it. If he can make a third party more valuable, I will take it. The left-right paradigm has been destroying this country for decades. I'm happy to have anybody in the third party to start moving forward to be more valid. Fine. Nobody cares. The federal government is 30.
Hold on. Wait. Let's have democracy in the chat. All right. Like, this is nothing new to you. I know to all of you, my audience, this is nothing new in regards towards politicians not paying taxes. Like, tell me something I don't know, right? Or somebody not paying their taxes. At this point in time, like, it comes as no surprise. Now, I'm pretty sure, again, this is one big distraction. And it's perfect ammunition for the vote blue, no matter who, be able to go against Dr. Cornel West. But let's have democracy in the chat. Type 1 if Kit, I care. and corporate media needs to start wagging their finger at people's faces. Type 2, like, no, man, I got my own problems. I wish I didn't have to pay taxes. And if I could not pay taxes, I would not pay my taxes. Okay. I want to see where y'all gonna. We got a couple of 2s. Miguel H. We got Cactus Man, Dabby Dabs 2s. Oh my goodness. A bidding 71. But those Ukrainian Nazis could have that cash money from Dr. Cornel West. And Zombie in the Air says, in context, I don't care.
$2 trillion in debt, never going to pay that off. He'll be fine right with them. They're perfect.
So,
all good.
So nobody should pay their taxes. I mean, I think that people.
And that's the Republican, by the way, folks. Hey, listen, lady, I don't have to mansplain and tell you how to do your job. But if you are the Republican in a pundit show, you can't really be for the taxes kind of thing. Come on. Don't be breaking the script. See, again, Hollywood writers, everyone step aside. Put me in the game, coach. I'll make movies and scripts that will make your head spin for days.
How hypocritical for him to get on the Breakfast Club and actually sit there and say it's a distraction. $500,000 is not 20 grand.
$500,000. There are that's pocket change compared to the other people out there. See, I paused her perfectly. And again, pause it perfectly. Okay, the lady is a Republican, the bald dude's a Democrat, and they're both looking like, we got you here. See, again, vote blue no matter who. These are your avatars, your people who represent you, who tell you to vote Republican or Democrat. Do you really want to be associated with those people? Yes, Democratic, Republican voters. I'm going to call out your parties, both your parties. Do you really want to be associated with those people? Have you seen the people who are part of the Republican and Democratic establishment who dictate our lives and implement neoliberal policies over us? Do you really want to be with those people? They don't like you.
True. As soon as the establishment doesn't like somebody, they do one of two things.
But he didn't disagree.
They either use the establishment to somehow delegitimize somebody, or they use character assassination.
Right.
He is correct. No one's talking about his issues. That's accurate. They're just trying to make him a bad guy.
Here's the reason. But I think the reason is just the opposite, which is that the establishment doesn't want to shake him up. Meaning, I think that the right-wing establishment loves the idea of him running and taking away votes from Biden.
Agreed.
The left-leaning media, in particular, is going to be walking on eggshells around this African-American leader who has policies that they agree with largely, and they don't want to touch him.
Well,
and
who do you think leaked this? The left leaked this.
It's not leaking. Yeah, it was. Yeah, the Daily Beast is a left-leaning organization, but it wasn't a leak. They did a lot of work.
It doesn't take a lot of work. All right. Hey, listen, buddy. Dan Abrams live. Okay, let's be clear here. There are people who owe more money in taxes. Democratic and Republican politicians and their corporate donors. Please stop being self-righteous. Oh, Dr. Cornel West owes $500,000 in back taxes. Oh, boo-hoo, boo-hoo. There's bigger fish out there. Hey, up those numbers, Dr. West. And look, hey, Trump said it on national TV when Hillary Clinton said, you're not paying your taxes. And Trump said, I know, I'm smart. I mean, what? What else can I say? It's so stupid. You know, I recently got a message from somebody who says, hey, did you see this thing about Dr. West? He's being a hypocrite, and maybe you should reconsider voting Democrat. And I texted him back like, no, thank you again for reinforcing my decision to vote third party. And they're like, I can't believe you. And I'm like, yeah, listen. Yes, I'm going to go ahead and vote third party, and I hope everyone who doesn't like it burns in hell. Now, Samuel L. Jackson delivered that line a little bit better, but, you know, again, I'm going to be consistent on my show. And I encourage all of you to do the same. Vote third party.
Look, the left won't want to talk about this principally because they don't want to elevate someone who could harm Joe Biden's.
Oh, shut up. Your goofy big head. Look like a potato.
Electoral prospects. I don't think it has anything to do with Cornel West's ideology or his race. It has everything to do with politics. Conversely, it is awfully curious that the right doesn't want to talk about it. But I think from their perspective, they want Hunter, Hunter, Hunter 24/7.
And that potato head looking MFer, Mr. Potato Head. I'll slap him upside his shiny dome. Again, the Hunter Biden story is real. And it's so funny that his legal team wasn't prepared, which is why he's right now in a little bit of trouble.
And what they don't want to talk about is Joe Biden's record. So they'll do any tool of distraction on that front. Politics is a strange beast.
Well, but Joe Biden actually announced that he was going to, or hired more IRS agents to crack down on people that haven't paid their taxes.
Oh, yes. Hey, that's great. Hey, you got crumbling bridges, lead in your drinking water, communities destroyed by natural disasters, massive poverty, student debt. Wish I could do something about that, Jack. But hey, here's money for some IRS agents to crack down on you. And that's right. These IRS agents, they're not going after these 1%ers. They're going to go after all of you, all of us. You think they're going to go after rich people? No. And she's like, excuse me, but Biden made all these IRS agents. Why aren't they doing their job? Because that's not what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to go after poor people. Don't you get it, sunshine?
And we've got this guy out here running for a public office that owes that much. And that's a big amount, guys.
No, it's not. That's $500,000. Now, in theory, yeah, if I had $500,000 flew in my pocket, right? Flew in my pocket or landed in my lap, I'd be like, wow. But in all reality, that ain't a lot of money there, my lovely. That's like pocket change right there. No one cares. Larry Sharpe is right. No one cares. Nobody cares. No one cares.
It is amazing. It used to be, putting aside Larry's world, it used to be incredibly popular when people said, let's raise money by getting tax cheats, right? To pay. And now,
again, look at these two. You got your corporate media pundit, and you got your Republican pundit, and you got Mr. Potato Head, the Democrat pundit. This is news. Larry, I got to have you back on the show again, man. I don't know how you sat through that. I don't know how you sat through it. Hey, this is going to be the reverse Anna Kasparian. Larry, you're a better man than me, and audience members, you are better than me. Because I would have to say, I think I have to snap on these people.
It's like you mentioned trying to get money from tax cheats, and you're part of the deep state.
The funniest thing, particularly when the Republican Party leadership stands up and says, we will not allow for an expansion of the IRS. We stand with tax cheats and criminals. I don't get it for the
at least Larry's intellectually consistent.
I am. That's true.
Right, yeah.
No one can say otherwise.
I'm not complaining here.
Everyone's
God, that Mr. Potato Head looking MFer, man. Look at this dude. How can you go on national television looking like that? What's wrong with you?
Not allow for an expansion of the IRS. We stand with tax cheats and criminals. I don't get it for the
at least Larry's intellectually consistent.
I am. That's true.
Right, yeah.
No one can say otherwise.
I'm not complaining here.
Everyone's going to stick around. Coming up.
And again, it's just interesting that we see people trying to smear Dr. Cornel West, say that he's a bad guy, say that, oh no, he hasn't paid taxes. I don't care. Again, here, I want to pull this up here. Again, because this makes sense. Hey, look, JB from RBN. Yeah, most of us don't care. I care more about what the government prioritizes with our money. Sending it to Ukraine while Maui burns is a mismanagement of public money, in my opinion. To which Larry Sharpe says, again, he's part of a different political spectrum, says, great point. Yes. See, when you move aside the establishment and corporate media propaganda, I'm not saying we're all going to be friends and we're going to get along and it's going to be rainbows and sunshines and puppies and kittens all together. No, that's stupid. But for the most part, we all agree. Again, 100% shite show from, again, Don't Let Them Fool You, Semper Fi, brother. Dr. West supposedly owes approximately $500K in taxes. That's about it. Biden is responsible for approximately 1 million deaths in Iraq. Biden is the architect of the modern slavery crime bill. Biden has, again, multiple assaults. Got to be careful because of YouTube. Side note, respect to Larry Sharpe. And again, Larry Sharpe says thanks. Again, Larry Sharpe, a former Marine like myself. Semper Fi all the way. So at the end of the day, what can we take away from this? I told all of you that they're going to keep on smearing and slandering and going after Dr. Cornel West. And the thing is, I am going to remain consistent on this show. I encourage all of you to consider voting third party, voting green, or voting libertarian, or voting independent, supporting third party candidates so they can get on the ballot and on the debate stage for 2024. Not only is the office for presidency up for grabs, but there are also many other political seats that are open, be it for the U.S. Senate, U.S. House of Representatives, and at the state level as well. At the state for the state Senate and state House of Representatives, as well as local county boards and so much more. And this election cycle will intensify. And to which I have to say, if you live in a state and you are considering supporting third parties, reach out to the party that you would like to support and help out. And you have to redouble and triple your efforts in order to fight to make sure that you can get on the ballot and on the debate stage. Corporate media will continue to smear and slander third parties, and we have to use that as fuel and ammunition because they're afraid of us. They fear us. I did a video segment where Mehdi Hassan and Morning Blow said, Dr. Cornel West and third-party voters are a threat. Well, you're goddamn right we're a threat. We are a threat to the two-party system because we are tired of the lies of the neoliberal Democrats and the neoconservative Republicans. Both parties are owned by Wall Street. Both parties are owned by corporations. Both parties are owned by banks, lobby groups, big pharma, the healthcare insurance industry, the military industrial complex, the prison industrial complex. Need I go on? So why should I waste my time to vote for Democrats and Republicans when I know I will never have a seat at the table and they don't respect or value my opinion? I need to respect myself when I look myself in the mirror. And you know what? If I vote third party and it triggers some Democratic voter, fine. I'm glad I'm living rent-free in your head. I'm glad you view me as a villain. I'm glad you view me as a bad guy. Because to me, if I'm the bad guy and you're still willingly to consent to voting for Democrats and Republicans if they made this country worse and worse, then you know what? You go on and keep on convincing yourself that you're the hero. But I do know one thing. When there's no one left to stand up and fight and the system comes after you, you'll be shockingly alone. Break away from the two-party system, and shout out to Larry Sharpe for being the only voice of reason in that hellscape.